brokenness leads to such beautiful art sometimes, you know? And I think I was really, really broken, like, writing this. The brokenness is okay as long as it can inspire people.
G, we did it. Let's leave this imprint. Just finish writing. This is the Pinkprint.
With that line, Nicki Minaj didn't just announce a new album. She introduced a world. One built on honesty, evolution, and intention. She gave us more than just a body of work or a collection of songs. She opened a space for us to dive into. A glimpse into the inner workings of the megastar, the businesswoman, and the brand that is Nicki Minaj. This was an era defined by raw vulnerability, laid-back vibes, sleek style, and a stripped-down sound that echoed her roots. The Pinkprint wasn't just an album. It was a cultural reset, a moment that left a permanent mark on hip-hop and pop culture. This is Eras Define, the Pinkprint.
I'm your hero. You know, cheer up. You should be happy I'm here. You know, I'm showing you bitches how to do it.
After the release of her second album, Pink Friday, Roman Reloaded, in April of the previous year, she reached new heights, diving headfirst into the world of pop and fully immersing herself in that space. The hair got wilder, the music got catchier, and her persona was at its peak. She had tapped into markets that most rappers, especially women, don't usually reach. She landed her first voice acting role as Steffi in the Ice Age movie franchise, alongside her label mate and industry brother Drake, plus a lineup of other A-list actors. She scored a multi-million-dollar endorsement deal with Pepsi. She posed with Ricky Martin for MAC's Viva Glam lipstick campaign. Fun fact, it became the highest-selling campaign in MAC's history, and the lipstick is one of the brand's best-selling of all time, with over $250 million in sales. Every dollar went to HIV/AIDS charities. Like she said on Drake's Make Me Proud, and she was. Just 3 years into her mainstream career, Nicki was making major moves and locking down massive deals. She joined the 12th season of American Idol as a judge. She performed on the Super Bowl stage alongside Madonna and MIA. This lady was everywhere, dominating rap, crossing into pop, and holding her own in an industry built to shut women out, especially black women. Black women who dared to do it all. But under the wigs, the features, the headlines, there was something deeper. She was in pain. She was yearning for love. She was struggling to balance fame, her relationship, and the pressure to keep going. The media constantly targeting her, overlooking her talent, and focusing on her body, her image, and her attitude. It was clear, Nicki had more to say. The question is, was it finally time to let the world in?
Okay, I am heading into my clothing line meeting because the kid play hard, but the kid work even harder. You see it? Let's get it.
By 2013, things were a little shaky for Nicki. Hip-hop media was criticizing her for leaning too far into pop, and mainstream outlets were questioning whether she could still deliver a rap hit on the Hot 100. One of the loudest voices came from Hot 97's Peter Rosenberg, who famously called out her song Starships during a live broadcast just hours before she was set to headline their Summer Jam Festival.
I know there's some chicks here waiting to sing Starships later. I'm not talking to y'all right now. Fuck that bullshit. I'm here to talk about real hip-hop shit.
In response, Nicki and the entire Young Money camp pulled out of the show. Rosenberg later doubled down on his comment, saying,
And regardless whether the time was good or not, the fact that she then pulled out and Young Money pulled out means I will never apologize for that. Never.
Harsh? Yes. But truthfully, a lot of people, especially her day one fans from the mixtape and MySpace days, felt the same. There was a growing disconnect. Some thought Nicki was selling out by chasing pop success. But quietly, a shift was coming. A return was coming. In May 2013, Nicki sat down with Hot 97 for an interview and teased a new direction.
And I've been doing a lot of features, all rap features, and I just been getting back to that place where I was right before I dropped my first album, which is kill. The second album, I just did way too much. I spread myself way too thin. And so for this third album, once this movie is shot, the kid is going back home, and I'm going to be in my dungeon writing. And, you know, now I have so much more to talk about, too.
She even confronted Rosenberg directly, addressing his Starship's comments head on.
I never found you funny. I never found you entertaining. I never found you smart. I just found you annoying.
Later that year, Nicki went on to film The Other Woman alongside Cameron Diaz and Kate Upton. The film's director spotted her on American Idol and invited her to audition, and of course she nailed it. Once filming wrapped, it was straight back to the studio to begin shaping what would become the Pinkprint.
The Pinkprint is coming this year.
This album is
on some real shit.
What we talking about?
Life, and we talking about life. We talking about love. We talking about betrayal. We talking about heartbreak. We talking about it all.
When it came to features, Nicki had that in the bag. She was in demand, one of the few artists who could float between pop and rap effortlessly. She could be on a teeny bop hit with Justin Bieber one moment, and then drop something gritty like High School with Lil Wayne the next. She had become the go-to feature for artists who wanted to level up their track. And in the lead up to the Pinkprint, she delivered one of her most iconic feature runs. It started with her remix of PTAF's viral hit, where she slipped in a hint at what was coming next.
But on the pill, I'm an album mode. Just drop this freestyle for these spies get old.
This verse quickly turned into a hood anthem. Then, just a month later, on January 28th, she jumped on the remix of Young Thug's Danny Glover. Another bold, punchy verse, and another tease.
Like I'm working on the album and a mixtape at the same motherfucking time.
The streets were listening, the blogs were buzzing, and the fans, they were ready. What they didn't realize was, Nicki wasn't just working on an album. She was about to shift the entire conversation. She had already done so much. Her star power was undeniable, but somehow, her true peak was still ahead.
Bitches, it's my sons.
The year is 2014. It's sometime in February. You open YouTube, scroll a little, and see a new Nicki Minaj video. You click. 25 seconds in and you're thinking, wait, something's different. No bright colors, no neon wig, no over-the-top patterns or cartoon voices. Is she ditching this whole Barbie persona? Is this a rebrand? Well, yeah, rebrand it was. The video was for a bar-heavy, trash-talking, male-centered diss track. Fans thought it would kick off her new album, but instead the track was placed on the Young Money Rise of an Empire compilation the following month. Still, this was the very first sign of real change. The tone was sharper, the energy was raw. Nicki had a new look as well, sleek ponytail, natural makeup with bold liner, and a mature stripped-back vibe. No gimmicks, no characters, just bars. The song made people pause and realize, oh, she doesn't need the theatrics to be captivating. She never did. But of course, this is Nicki Minaj, and controversy is never too far behind her. The same day, she released a cover art, a photo of Malcolm X holding a rifle, paired with the title of the song. It was Black History Month. The backlash was immediate. People called it out as tone deaf, inappropriate, and disrespectful. Nicki apologized and clarified her intent. But even beyond that, looking dudes all across the globe were shocked. To this day, we still don't know exactly who she was talking about. That only added allure to the track. Oh, she hinted that the new album would be called The Pinkprint. Fans immediately clocked the reference. Jay-Z's The Blueprint, a classic that shaped hip-hop and inspired a generation, including Nicki herself. 2014 was a huge transition year for music. EDM was fading, the dance pop wave was dying, and many artists who rode that sound started to lose their footing. Then came a new face. Not from the US, not the typical rapper image. Her breakout hit Fancy, featuring Charlie XCX, will go on to spend 6 weeks at the #1 spot on the Hot 100. Something no female rapper had done at that time, not even Nicki. Up to that point, Nicki's highest peaks were Super Bass and Till the World Ends, both hitting the #3 spot. Blogs and media started the comparisons immediately, the pitting, but neither women took the bait. Iggy had a big year, no doubt, but Nicki had something else. Substance. Something deeper. Something lasting. Early that year, she dropped a street remix of G Herbo's Chirac. Gritty, aggressive, straight bars. Then came Yes Bitch with Soulja Boy. More low-key, but still part of the rollout. But she really turned the tide with the release of her first official single, Pills and Potions. It came out May 21st, 2014, and it was a surprise. A shift. A softer, vulnerable Nicki. Critics praised it. Complex called it a monster of a song. Others noted how digestible and honest it felt, especially compared to the intensity of Lookin' Ass. The video, directed by Diane Martel, who also did Right By My Side, dropped on June 9th and has over 280 million views as of 2025. The visuals? Symbolic, heartbreak, chaos, and restraint. All wrapped in a cleaner, more artistic package. But it was her public image that really told the story. Stylist Rushka Bergman reintroduced Nicki as a high-fashion, minimal, chic, seductive artist. No fluff, no pink wigs. Just confidence. She stunned on the MTV Movie Awards red carpet in a sleek black dress with gold accents, a huge departure from the past.
Now, our friends at the end of the carpet earlier spoke to Nicki Minaj. I'm a little jealous.
So jealous,
So
my
jealous.
God.
Let's take a look at that interview.
Looking amazing, Nicki Minaj.
First of all,
good to see you, Nicki.
How are you guys?
we're good. First of all, this woman knows how to make an entrance, and you look amazing, by the way.
Thank you. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Still, despite the shift, Pills and Potions didn't crack the top 20, peaking lower than her previous lead singles Your Love at 14 and Starships at #5. But don't worry, it wasn't over, because just a few months later, she dropped a bomb. The second single, released with a video that broke the internet and YouTube records, it became the most viewed video on Vivo in 24 hours, a record Nicki had already broken twice before. Directed by Colin Tilley, the video was instantly controversial. Sexual, bold, and powerful. And yeah, we've all seen it. Around that same time, she also dropped Bang Bang with Ariana Grande and Jessie J, another global smash hit. After her Anaconda performance at the VMAs on August 24th, the song jumped from number 19 to the #2 spot on the Hot 100. It was everywhere. One of the earliest viral moments of the internet age. Bang Bang hit #3 shortly after. Today, both videos sit at over 1 billion views and became full-on cultural moments. It felt like Nicki was on top of the world again. But at this time, she wasn't just repeating the past. She was repurposing it, reaching new heights with a whole new image. Then came the third single, Only, featuring Drake, Lil Wayne, and Chris Brown, released October 28th, 2014. This one was for the core fans. Dark, minimal, and gritty. Chris Brown on the hook, and urban radio ate it up. The song peaked at #12 and racked up over 500 million views. Then came Bed of Lies with Skylar Grey, another personal favorite. Vulnerable, emotional, and powerful. It brought the same raw energy as Pills and Potions, but even more refined. Critics began to take notice. This album might be her best yet, a mix of heartbreak, honesty, and empowerment, woven together with sharp lyricism and fearless storytelling. And for the first time, people weren't just seeing Nicki Minaj, they were seeing Onika Mirage. And for many fans, that was her best version.
I didn't know that when I set out to make this album that it would entail an emotional roller coaster in my own real life.
December 15th, 2014. The day the Pinkprint dropped, and everything changed. This wasn't just another Nicki Minaj album. This was a journal, a confession, a soul wide open. It wasn't just about her being a megastar. It was about being a human. For the moment you hit play, it's clear. Nicki had things to get off her chest, but not through diss tracks or flashy bars. This was personal. It felt like you were reading her diary, almost like you were intruding. And maybe that's what made it so captivating. She opens with All Things Go. Then I Lied. Then The Crying Game. 3 tracks, 1 story. Heartbreak, guilt, trauma, and most importantly, self-awareness. On All Things Go, she reflects with striking honesty.
That's the reflection of me. Yes, I get it was all me.
Something different here. She's not just rapping to flex, she's rapping to heal. The Crying Game is a gut punch. We hear echoes of betrayal, pain, and domestic turmoil. She realizes this album is about surviving love, loving others, loving yourself, failing at both, and somehow learning to keep going. Then comes Pills and Potions, the standout single that set the tone for this era. Soft, strong, vulnerable, and complex. A song that feels like a contradiction, because love is one. And maybe that's why she says, it sounds like betrayal, it sounds like running, it sounds like fainting, it sounds like love. The production swells and falls like a heartbeat, like emotions pulsing through you. This wasn't just a hit, this was a mirror. And then comes Grand Piano, the closing confession. Simple, stripped back, and raw. You can hear the heartbreak in every breath. You can see the tears she never let fall in public. This wasn't the Nicki people were used to. This was Onika. But the album wasn't just sorrow. Songs like Once Some More, Only, 4-Door Ventador, Shanghai, and Feeling Myself gave the rap heads their feel. Favorite, By a Heart, The Night Is Still Young. They feel like fresh air after the storm. Like maybe there's hope after a heartbreak. And of course, Anaconda and Trini Them Girls. Those brought the fun, the freedom, the fearless energy that reminds us she's still Nicki Minaj. But behind all that, behind the bars, behind the beats, was a woman living through the end of a 12-year relationship. She and Safari Samuels had been together through it all, from MySpace freestyles to global superstardom. And now it was ending, quietly, painfully, in private, but also very publicly in this album.
Tonight's got to be one of them.
Who said I have a boyfriend, first of all? So
You
let's
don't?
back up.
I'm just going off of Google.
Oh,
I don't know you.
Don't.
You don't have a boyfriend? Okay, so you're so strong. So no, this leads to, oh really? Look at so this.
At the time, no rapper, especially not a woman, was this open. Vulnerability wasn't common in hip-hop, but Nicki made it a centerpiece, and that's what made the Pinkprint feel like a landmark moment. Critics praised it, fans connected to it, and Nicki, she stood behind it with full confidence. This is the album I always meant to make, she says. It's personal, it's precise, it's powerful. And to this day, many still believe the Pinkprint is her greatest body of work.
How women feel. The Pinkprint is now done, and I'm very excited.
It's done?
Yeah, it's done. It's gonna be out December 15th. 3 weeks away.
Whoa, that's not
And
long.
it's just a brilliant album. I love it. I'm proud of it, and I know that my fans are gonna love it.
When the Pinkprint debuted at number 2 on the Billboard 200, it did so with 244,000 units sold in its first week, 198,000 of them being pure sales. A strong showing, especially for a deeply personal project that didn't follow the formula of her past 2 albums. It held its position in week 2 with another 150,000 units sold, a testament to word of mouth and the bond it built with listeners. It peaked in the top 10 in countries like Canada, Norway, Sweden, and Australia. Critics praised it for its honesty and versatility, Rolling Stone ranking it the number 3 best rap album of 2014. Complex called it the most mature project of her career, and Billboard highlighting its emotional depth as a refreshing departure from the genre's bravado. But it wasn't just critics. Fans felt this album. Many still call it Nicki's best, not because it was the most radio-friendly, but because it was the most real. On January 15th, 2015, she dropped a behind-the-scenes documentary on MTV, a raw, personal look into the making of the album. She let the world in, into her grief, her heartbreak, her hustle. There were tears, family moments, vulnerability, and yes, the infamous wardrobe malfunction during the Bang Bang VMA performance.
I guess that's why, a lot of the songs are way more introspective, because I'm at a place now where I am stepping out of myself and looking at myself more.
By 2015, Nicki Minaj was no longer just a rapper. She was an icon. She wasn't chasing the crown, she wore it. She released Truffle Butter to Urban Radio, and it climbed the charts fast, peaking at number 14 on the Hot 100. She made major talk show and radio stops, like The Tonight Show, The Real, Angie Martinez, and Ebro in the Morning, bringing the Pinkprint to audiences across every medium. She performed a full melody at the 2015 NBA All-Star Game, then kicked off her Pinkprint tour in Stockholm on February 16th. The tour would go on to span over 50 shows, becoming one of the most talked about tours of the year, and helped make Nicki one of the highest paid hip-hop artists of 2015. In April, her EDM collab Hey Mama with David Guetta and BB Rexha started heating up, and by May, it became a global top 10 hit, giving Nicki her 12th top 10 in 5 years. She opened and headlined the Billboard Music Awards, performing Hey Mama and The Night Is Still Young, which became another top 40 hit. Of course, we can't forget the other iconic moments of 2015. The rumors with Meek Mill that lit up every blog after their onstage chemistry was impossible to ignore. Her unforgettable performances at Summer Jam, Tidal X, and the BET Experience show, showing she could dominate both urban and pop spaces, winning her 6th straight Best Female Hip Hop Artist Award at the BET Awards. And that moment from the 2015 VMAs.
Miley, what's good? Hey.
She closed out the year winning Best Hip Hop at the MTV EMAs and took home Best Rap Album at the American Music Awards. But more than the numbers, it was the shift. The Pinkprint proved that a female rapper could be emotional, powerful, confessional, and still dominate the charts. It opened the door for deeper storytelling in rap, and directly influenced a new generation of women who weren't afraid to rap about heartbreak, healing, and personal growth. Nicki didn't just impact the culture, she became the blueprint. The album was vulnerable, the era was iconic. The legacy, untouchable. The Pinkprint wasn't just an album, it was a declaration. Nicki Minaj is, and will always be, the queen of rap.